Hello, my name is Jolene, and I am the creator of Barefoot Freedom Yoga. Yoga is my passion. Yoga is the way to quiet the mind, relax the body, and get in tune with the central nervous system. Everyone deserves to be happy and healthy, and it is my mission to get you to breathe, move, connect, so that you can find that happy, healthy lifestyle. Get comfortable on the floor so that I can guide you through the legs, hips, and low back. Hey there, thanks for joining me. I super appreciate you. This is a new experience for me, so you might see technical difficulties, some shadows, but whatever, I still want to do this. Let's get settled. Let's see if you can inhale, exhale through the nose, breathing a little deeper. Notice the breath. Get grounded. And when you're ready, do a gentle twist to your right. Sitting tall, big inhale, longer exhale. Noticing where you feel the body move when you inhale, come back to center to reset, and then twist to the left. Big inhale, longer exhale. Come back to center to reset. Shimmy the hips. Also, you can sit up on a pillow or a rolled up yoga mat if you're uncomfortable sitting. Grab a hold of the knees or the ankles and roll back. Think of your cat pose, and then think of your cow pose, lifting the chest. Gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades. Spinal movement, rolling back, pull the shoulder blades apart, lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Find as much or little movement that feels good. Noticing the breath, we place a hand on the upper chest and the belly, and we want to feel the breath. We want to feel that breath move in the whole torso. Think of a Buddha belly, letting the belly expand on the inhale, relax on the exhale. You should also be able to feel this breath move in the upper chest, taking an inhale, feeling the chest, the collarbones move, relax on the exhale. You also might be able to feel the upper and the lower hand move at the same time with practice. Breathing big with each inhale, soften on each exhale. With practice, you should be able to feel your whole front body move. And we're going to shift back to the bolster or this big pillow, or you can just use the wall or the floor. We want to use this prop so that we can feel the back side of our body expand also. With practice and with control, you should be able to feel the body move onto the bolster. So just like we did, placing our hands at the lower belly or the ribs, take a big enough breath in to see if you can feel any part of the body on the back side move onto the bolster. You might even notice the space between the shoulder blades expand when you inhale, expanding onto the wall, bolster, or floor. For a few seconds, you might even feel the front and the back body and even the sides of the body move. Think of a hot air balloon or blowing air into a balloon. You can see all sides of a balloon expand when you blow breath into the balloon. Here we're trying to take a big inhale, expanding the air into all sides of the torso. Big breath in, notice. Exhale, soften. You can always use your hands if you need to notice a little bit more. Notice the breath. The breath is free. It's a tool we can pick up at any time. Walking the hands forward, remember which foot is in front. Whichever foot is in front, you probably feel sensation on that same side, maybe the knee or the hip. It's okay if the elbows don't come to the floor. Just come down as much as feels comfortable, and then extend the legs forward. Spread the toes, scrunch the toes. Pedal through the feet. Bounce the legs. This helps circulation. Roll out through the wrists. Make little fists, and then start to sweep the tops and the sides of the thighs, all the way down to the tops and the sides of the shins. Create a little heat as you sweep. Notice where you feel tension, where you, press your hands down along the legs. Continue to sweep. Releasing some tension by just gentle massaging with the hands. And then again, start to pedal through the feet, toes up, toes down. It's okay if your feet do not move as much as mine. And then keep the toes pointing up and see if you can rock the toes to the right, to the left, allowing the knees to move and also getting the legs to move up and towards the hip sockets. Again, notice where you hold any tension. Point the toes, and then again, see if you can rock from left to right, getting the whole leg to move. Little tap of the legs, releasing any tightness or tension. It's okay if your feet cramp here. Slowly, one at a time, start to extend the legs wide. Lift the sit bones, we have 2. Shimmy the hips. Wiggle and spread the toes. It's okay if the legs are bent. Depending on how tight the hamstrings are, the legs will be bent. And again, try to make that same movement where you can keep the toes pointing up, and one leg at a time or together, see how much you can rock from left to right. Point the toes away, and again, find that movement, maybe one leg at a time or together. Move slow, no sharp, sudden pain. A little tap, and then bring your left leg in. Twist towards the direction of the bent knee, sit tall. And again, when you inhale, notice what parts of the areas you can get to expand. Exhale, soften. Maybe some spinal movement. We just drop the head, maybe round a little bit. Then see how much you can lift the chest up towards the ceiling. The tiniest little spinal movement in this twist. Breathe through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. Wiggle those toes. Come back to center to reset. And then extend over the extended leg. Take a moment and settle. Shimmy the hips. And try to pull the chest towards the toes. Left hand goes on top of the shin and the right hand reaches back. We look back. And again, we want to breathe through the mouth. Big inhale, longer exhale. Dropping the right hand down to the shin. Left hand reaches back towards the floor. Keep the neck low, long, as we reach towards the toes. Maybe you tap, and then again reach back. This is good for circulation all along the side body, getting the muscles and ligaments to move, creating space for the lymph nodes. Keep the chest open towards the ceiling and slowly come up. And then again, remember which foot was forward. That foot now comes to the back, and then we gently walk the hands forward. It's okay if the elbows don't drop down. Give a little shimmy of the hips, and then settle for a few moments. Notice if you feel different sensations on the opposite side, or maybe there's similar sensations. Extend both legs back forward. Give some taps. Roll through the wrist. This time we'll keep the fist and do love taps. Tap, tap, tap all the way down the thighs, shins. Trying to release and break any tight tension areas. Some sweeps with the hands, and then extending the legs back out, lifting the sit bones left and right. This is really good for the low back and the SI joint as well. Tapping the legs, rocking the legs with toes up, and then bringing the opposite knee in, twisting towards the direction of the bent knee. We sit tall. With each inhale through the mouth, we feel where we move the breath, then exhale, soften. See if you can wiggle the toes over your shoulder. And then a little rounding, look down, lift the chest, look up, pulling that string up towards the ceiling. A little spinal movement. Coming back to center to reset. Extending over that extended leg, walking the hands forward. Notice sensation here. Keeping that chest pulled through to the toes. And then a gentle twist, coming over the leg, looking back over your left shoulder. I'm mirroring you. Breathe through the mouth. Come up, back to center to reset, and then drop the left hand down onto the leg, and then right hand back towards the floor. Keep that head dropped to keep the neck long. Sweep the arms wide and up. Maybe again, tap that toe. It's okay if you can't. And then reach back. Reach as far as you can. Reach through the fingers. Reach again. Make sure you're not holding the breath. Maybe you grab the toes. Keep the chest open to the ceiling. Come up. This time bringing bottoms of feet together. Lift the sit bones. This is really good, again, to find movement in that low back. Grab the ankles, roll back, feel the shoulder blades pull apart. Tuck the tailbone towards the forehead, and then sit tall. Lift the chest away from tailbone. Roll back. Lift up. Make sure you're not holding the breath. Come down just a little bit. Come up. A little bit more. Come up. And then come down even more. Hold. Shimmy the hips. Breathe. Maybe drop down a little more. Breathe. Notice where you hold tension. Slowly come up. And then we're going to bend the knees. Bring the hands on the knees or the backs of the thighs. Feel your sit bones. Then when you're ready, see if you can roll back. Let the shoulder blades pull apart. Think about tipping the tailbone towards the forehead. Cat pose. Sit tall, feel those sit bones. Lift the chest away from the belly. Spinal movement. The feet can be wide or the feet can be closer. Roll back. Feel length in the low back. Sit tall, lift the chest. Gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades. Bring the feet closer. Point the toes. Lift the heels, engage the core. Lift the heels, maybe release the hands. Maybe extend out through those legs. Breathe. Slowly lift the sit bones. Maybe roll back one vertebrae at a time. Get situated on the floor. You can keep the hands alongside the body, ankles under knees, or feet wide, knees together. We're going to bring the knees towards the chest. Try to keep the ankles and the knees together. The hands can be alongside the body. As you find movement, if the low back feels funny, take hands underneath low back. We're going to massage the body using our own body weight as we make circles with the knees. Massage the sacrum. Point the heels more towards the floor. Get down towards the tailbone. Grab a pillow if you need it. The more that the knees come into the chest, you'll get into the low and mid back. Make as much movement that feels good. As long as everything feels okay, you can drop the knees over to the left, over to the right, rock a few times, maybe feel a few pops. And then we'll bring the toes up towards the ceiling. We're going to point the toes, flex the toes, back and forth, just like we did on the floor. Spread the toes and then shake the legs, shake the calves, shake the thighs, shake, shake, shake as much as feels good. Maybe even feel the belly shake, 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 and then relax. Breathe. Bringing the toes back up towards the ceiling. I'll shift around so that you can see. We're going to point the big toes together, heels out. Notice where you feel tension as you make this movement. Heels together, toes out. You might feel a shift in tension. Our legs tend to hold particular tension patterns. Toes together, heels out. Heels together, toes out. Pigeon toe, Charlie Chaplin. Pigeon, Charlie Chaplin. Shake, shake, shake. Release. Jiggle. And the knees back towards chest. Step the feet wide. Touch the knees together. Keep the feet exactly where they're at. Do not move the feet, but drop the knees to the right and then the knees to the left. Keep the feet wide. Knees to the right. Keep the toes pointing towards knees. Rock back and forth. It's okay if the knees don't go down as far as mine. Try to get the middle knee down towards the floor. Again, you might start to feel tension patterns on the top of the thigh or the hip flexors, maybe even the belly. Back and forth a few times, maybe even hold for a moment. As you drop the knees to the left, take your hand and start to massage onto your right side body. Maybe even press a little bit. It's okay to press into these tension areas, maybe even make a fist and do little love taps on the tops of the hip creases. Especially if you're in a chair all day. A little massage on the right side. Again, make sure you're not holding the breath and that you're feeling no sharp sudden pain. Drop the knees to the right. Again, with the left hand, do a little tap into those hip creases, tops of the quads. And then the right hand comes across, massaging the left side body. Sometimes this is a little foreign to feel if you're not used to doing little intestinal motion with the hands. I'm just noticing what it feels like to touch all these different organs in the belly. A few more rocks to the right and to the left to reset. And then we'll bring bottoms of feet together, knees wide. Maybe a little massage here. Sometimes it takes a few moments for those hip flexors to soften a little bit. Maybe even give some love taps. And then a little massage in the belly, just below the sternum. Maybe a little massage deeper down to the belly button, to the tip of the pubic bone. A little pinch. And we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. And then a couple of times, think about breathing your belly into your thighs. Big breath in as you inhale, belly to thighs, exhale, relax. The toes extend back up, and we'll see how much we can lift the low back up off the floor. Nothing too big, just a few lifts. Noticing what it feels like to engage the low back as you reach the toes up towards the ceiling. And see if you can sit up tall, back to that same movement we did earlier. A few more lifts. It's okay if you use your hands or your arms to sit up, but just notice what it feels like from here to get up from the floor. Engaging the low core. This little movement helps you start to find strength in the low back or the low sacrum where you may have SI joint problems. And then a few more times, see if you can lift the low back and maybe the shoulder blades off the floor. At least 5 times. Just a little core engagement, nothing too fancy. Make sure you're not holding the breath. Sit up maybe one more time. Maybe grab the toes or think about extending the legs and then come back down and rest. Feet wide, knees together. Get comfortable and then bring the knees wide and back in towards the belly. And again, think of that Buddha belly, breathing big into the thighs. You can reach towards the heels or the knees or the backs of the thighs. We're coming into happy baby, pressing the heels up to the ceiling, the knees pulled down to the floor. Maybe bottoms of feet together. Any movement here is allowed as long as there's no sharp sudden pain. Some shimmy of the hips. You can always grab the knees again and not the feet or the backs of the thighs. Happy baby pose. You can keep the knees bent or extend the legs. A little massage in the backs of the thighs. Reaching those heels up towards the ceiling. Again, maybe grab somewhere along the leg, just a little pull down of the heels towards the face. Maybe forehead towards shins. We're gonna keep working the low back using our own body weight to massage. So you might just start to lift the low back more, reaching the toes a little bit back more towards behind the head. This might be all that you do here. Maybe the toes grab the hands, hands grab toes. Maybe you slowly start to reach farther and farther back. Try not to turn the head left to right. Always look up. A few times just lift up towards the ceiling. Make sure the low back feels okay. And eventually see if you can reach the toes to the floor behind the head. Slowly roll down. We're trying to massage along the muscles along the spine. Maybe bend the knees. We want to breathe deep into the upper chest and roll down. If you haven't done this in a while, it might take some effort. And again, maybe come back up, lift up, breathe, and then roll down. Again, maybe the toes tap. If the toes can't come behind the head, you can just always reach the toes up towards the ceiling. It's supposed to be fun, a little rock and roll play, plow pose, reset. Dropping the knees to the left to the right. A little movement, massage on that right side body. Same motion with the left hand, gently massaging onto the left side body. Keeping the knees wide, pull the knees in, and again, happy baby pose. Heels push up, knees pulled down. You have 3 options of grabbing the ankles or the backs of the thighs. You can extend the legs out one at a time, to the left and then to the right. Any movement here. Move slow. Then we're going to take our right ankle over the left knee. Keep the toe pointing up towards the knee. And keep the knee kind of pushing away towards the torso. Take a moment here. This might be all that you do. Eventually, a little rock of the shin to the right and to the left. If all feels okay, you might eventually be able to put that foot onto the floor over to the left side. Think about the breath. We want to try to feel that breath move in the belly area and the back side of the low back. We breathe, we expand on the inhale, relax, and soften on the exhale. Coming back to center, maybe you stay there. We pull the shin towards the chest, maybe forehead towards shin. And then we're going to extend those right toes up to the ceiling, pedal, little movement, a little shake. Hands alongside the body. Feel the weight of the foot. Feel the weight on the left foot as you reach the right toes up towards the ceiling. Lift the lower back up off the floor. A few times. And then hold for 3 rounds of breath. Breathe up into the upper chest. Breathe through the mouth. And then pulse for a few. And then come down. Big toes to touch. Toes together. Heels out. Heels together, toes out. Back and forth a few times. Shimmy and shake, jiggle. And then opposite side. Left ankle over right knee, the toe stays pointed up. Stay here or gentle rocks to the left and to the right. Eventually, stepping that left foot down to the floor, over to the right. And again, we want to take the hand on the belly and the low back and see if you can expand those areas with each inhale. Soften on the exhale. Coming back up, pulling the shin towards the chest. Stay here or grab the knee and pull a little bit deeper, maybe forehead towards shin. Just an option. Then feel that weight come onto the right foot, extend the left toes up. 3 times lift the low back up, reach the heel up towards the ceiling. Hold on the 3rd time, and then pulse. Slowly come down. Step the feet wide, knees together. You can stay on the floor or grab a big pillow or a rolled up yoga mat, but we just want to try to get the hips a little bit higher than the heart. Nothing too high. Maybe bring the knees to the chest. But also you can just do this on the floor. It's good to guide the breath up towards the upper chest. Breathe deep, maybe again a belly massage, massaging down to the top of the pubic bone. but guide that breath to the upper chest. Breathe deep. You can do this motion with or without the bolster. You can use the wall, just letting the feet find stillness as you take the ankles over knees, knees over hips. And then with or without the bolster, right ankle comes back over the knee. And then see if you can lift the low back up off the floor. Just for a few seconds. And then switch. This helps get into those tight hip creases, the tight psoas. It engages the low back and the glutes. Come into a quick bridge pose, lifting the hips up as high as you can, breathing as deep and up as you can towards the upper chest. And then when you are ready to come down, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bottoms of feet come together, knees wide once more. And then here, just notice the spine. Notice the breath. See if you can feel that breath expand up to the ceiling. But also feel that breath expand down onto the floor. Maybe you feel both at the same time, visualizing that balloon expanding. Try to find stillness. It's very challenging to find stillness. Visualize the spine. From the tailbone to the low back, to the shoulder blades, to the back of the neck, to the back of the head, notice the breath. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the jaw. Open the mouth wide. You can keep the legs here or bring knees together. Maybe even extend the legs long. But continue to find stillness just for another few moments. Notice where you hold tension. Notice where you can find yourself to relax a little bit more. And then you can bring the knees into the chest and then forehead towards knees. And slowly come back up to seated. Just find those sit bones. We'll bring the hands together, spreading the fingertips wide. And just play around, lifting, pressing, pressing the palms together, sitting tall. See if you can move the middle fingers towards the chest and middle fingers away from chest, down to the floor. This is really good for movements of the wrists and the elbows. Middle fingers to chest, and then up and away down to the floor. Elbows together, elbows away, together, and away. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the hands away, and then up, look down. Keep those arms straight, and then maybe look up. Unless you get lightheaded, you don't have to look up. Hands behind the head, elbows up, little movement. And then again, pressing the hands up, straight arms. Rest. We're almost done. Interlace fingers, press away to the left. Look down. And then over the right shoulder. I'm mirroring you. Hands to center, press to the right. Look towards the shoulder. Back to center. Press down and up. Look down. Maybe look up. Hands together, rest. Press to the left, look down, and then over to the shoulder. Breathe. Hands to center and then over to the right, look down, and then over the shoulder. And breathe. Come back to center to reset. And take a few moments here to stay seated, maybe even a 7-minute meditation before you decide to get up. Don't be so quick to get up and to end. It seems like my time has come to an end, so thank you for joining me. Namaste. Sit, Cooper, sit. Good dog.